Hello, good
Good
morning.
morning.
May nag-echo. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning po, Doc.
Yan, good morning. Okay. Can we start? Okay. So, before I go further to the different types of glaucoma, let me introduce, nakalimutan ko kasi ito, yung sa ano natin, yung sa aqueous humor, on the aqueous chamber. So, we have here now the function ng aqueous humor, bakit kinakailangan, di ba? Meron tayong fluid, di ba, doon sa loob ng mata natin. Okay, so of course, the fluid itself, we try to maintain the intraocular pressure. Okay, and the aqueous humor is important because it will try to nourish the vascular to a vascular structure of the eye. That will be now the cornea. So ang ninonourish niya yung last layer ng cornea. And that will be now the endothelium. Tapos yung lens naman, di ba yung lens natin is also a vascular. Pero ang may cell din doon. Ang pinapakain niya will be now the anterior. Okay, we have here now the anterior lens epithelium. Okay? Kasi importante yung dalawang yan. Importante yung dalawang yan, yung endothelium and the anterior lens epithelium to prevent now the entrance of too much water. The endothelium will prevent entrance of too much water going to the corneal stroma, and the anterior lens epithelium will prevent also entrance of water going now to the crystalline lens. So pag nagkaroon ng too much water, 'di ba kasi na-damage yung endothelium and the anterior lens epithelium, mawawala yung transparency ng cornea, 'di ba? At kaya mawawala rin yung transparency ng ating crystalline lens. So that can lead to corneal opacity and cataract formation. Okay, so syempre may cell yun. And then may metabolism sila. So may waste product. So yung waste product, ilalabas din. Di ba? Bibigyan mo ng pagkain, tapos meron kang yung cells natin, yung epithelium, may ilalabas siya. Di ba? Na waste product. And that will be carried by the aqueous humor. Okay? So ito na yung support. The metabolism of the crystalline lens cornea, including the trabecular meshwork. And because it has pressure, okay, you will try to maintain the proper convexity of your crystalline lens. So, ilagay natin ito dito para relate ano siya, para magkarugtong. Yan. So, ito yung number 2, ito yung number 3, and this is the number 4. Okay, this is now the number 4. Yan. Okay? So, that will be, so related to ion pressure, because of that pressure, so may maintain mo yung normal convexity ng ating cornea. Kasi what will happen kung kulang ang aqueous humor, mapa-flat yung cornea. So pag na-flat yung cornea, we call it as cornea plana, and that will affect the error of refraction, di ba, ng pasyente. So kung flat yung cornea, more hyperopic, di ba, yung pasyente. Okay? So that will be now the importance pertaining now to the aqueous humor. So maintaining the intraocular pressure. So the intraocular pressure are supposed to be pressure maintained inside the aqueous chamber because of your aqueous humor. So dapat yung intraocular pressure mas mataas kaysa sa atmospheric pressure. Kaysa dito. Okay, sa ating atmospheric pressure. Kasi kung mas mataas yung atmospheric pressure, anong mangyayari? E di ipitin mo yung eyeball, magko-collapse ngayon. Di ba? Magko-collapse ngayon yung eyeball natin. So dapat mas mataas, di ba, yung pressure ng mata natin as compared to the atmospheric pressure. Ito yung ito yung normal. This is the normal atmospheric pressure. Ayan, okay? Which has been stated here. So that will be 14.7 pounds per square inch or 760 millimeter mercury. Okay, that will be now the atmospheric pressure daw. Okay, so ito naman yung normal pressure natin. That will be 10 to 20, 15 to 20 millimeter. And this usually fluctuate. Okay, this usually fluctuate, okay, ng mga 2 to 5 millimeter, okay, and there will be variation of 1 to 2 millimeter mercury, okay, in each heartbeat and during respiration. So, pwede siyang tumaas, pwede siyang bumaba. Pwede siyang tumaas, pwede siyang bumaba yung ating intraocular pressure. So, increasing the heart rate, ito yung effect sa heart rate natin. Pag in-increase mo yung heart rate, tataas ang blood pressure. Pag tumaas ang blood pressure, tumataas ang intraocular pressure. Kaya kung ang pasyente is hypertensive, okay, pwedeng study yun. O kung titingnan nyo, okay, kung gaano kataas yung kanyang blood pressure, okay, gaano kataas yung blood pressure, okay, at gaano kataas ang tinataas ng intraocular pressure kapag, okay, tumataas yung kanyang blood pressure. So, for example ha, kapag ang normal blood pressure natin, ito say, the normal blood pressure is 120/80. Yan, correlate natin ngayon yung intraocular pressure. BP ito ha, yung BP. Tapos ang kanyang intraocular pressure, normal eh. So sabihin natin, nandun siya sa 20. Yan, 20 millimeter mercury. So paano kung tumaas ang BP niya, nag 140/90? O kunin mo, mag-applanation tonometer kayo, tapos tingnan nyo kung ilan ang tinaas. Sabihin natin, 22 millimeter mercury. Ganyan. Okay? Tapos meron namang another patient. Ang BP niya is 180/100. So ano naman ang BP nito kaya? Okay, naging 24 millimeter mercury. Okay? So yun yung parang comparative study. The relationship between the patient blood pressure and the intraocular pressure. So pwedeng maging thesis nyo ito. Ha? So pwede itong gawin yung thesis. Pwede nyo gawing thesis ito. Okay? Or, okay, may thesis na ba kayo? Ginagawa? Hello? May thesis na ba kayong ginagawa?
Wala pa po, Dok.
Wala pa? So, some idea. Some idea kung gusto niyo lang. Okay? Kung gusto niyo lang magkaroon ng thesis. Okay, regarding now the relationship between the intraocular pressure and systemically the blood pressure. Okay? So, ganun din kapag humihinga. Okay, yung pasyente, so 10 times magbe-breathing siya. Inhale, tapos buga, exhale. Yan. Ang effect niyan actually, bumababa yung heart rate, nakakababa ng blood pressure. Kasi when you lower the blood, when you inhale, exhale, you lower the heart rate. Diba pag tumatakbo tayo, tapos hihinga ka, ganon, 10 times yun. Bumabagal na yung tibok ng puso, bumababa na, di ba, yung blood pressure ng pasyente. Okay? And then, kunin mo ngayon yung heart rate. Kunin mo yung blood pressure. Di ba? So, you will notice, bumababa din yung kanyang intraocular pressure. So, ito yung sinasabi ko. Nakaka-apekto yung heart rate, nakaka-apekto rin ang respiration or breathing. Okay, nung pasyente, yan, okay, every time, respiration or breathing. Ano na lang. Okay, every time na huminga ng malalim, okay, yung pasyente. Okay, so the factors that maintains now the intraocular pressure, I think I already gave you this one. Okay, dapat yung inflow is normal, then yung outflow, dapat walang harang. Diba, going to the trabecular meshwork into the canal of Sclem. So, meron pang isa, dapat normal din yung blood pressure, okay, nung pasyente. Because normally, the episcleral pressure at a normal blood pressure is supposed to be 10 millimeter mercury. Eh sabi natin, di ba pag tumataas ngayon, okay, ito yung effect ng hypertension. Ito ang effect ng hypertension, okay, kapag mataas ang blood pressure. Bakit di gumalaw yan? Mhm. Wait. Okay. So, ito siya. Ito na yung aim natin ha. Yan yung aim natin. Okay. So, kunin natin ngayon dito, blood pressure, sabi natin. So, ang effect ng blood pressure, pag tumaas ngayon, pag normal ang blood pressure mo, ito, okay, yung episcleral vein pressure, episcleral vein pressure, okay, will be yung normal. That will be 10 millimeter mercury. 10 millimeter mercury. However, kung ganito tumaas yung kanyang blood pressure, then tataas din yung kanyang episcleral vein pressure. Kasi 'di ba, vein yan eh. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng blood pressure? Pressure exerted on the wall, 'di ba, ng blood vessel o blood vessel, vein. So, mataas ang blood pressure, tataas din yung kanyang episcleral vein pressure. So, let us presume, yung kanyang episcleral vein pressure is naging 30. So, kunin uli natin yung outflow dito ng ating aqueous humor. Yan. So, let us say, ito siya ngayon. So, yung normal natin, kunyari ha, kunin muna natin. So, yung normal pressure natin dito, ito siya, di ba? Oh, dito na lang. Okay, so yung normal pressure natin dito, di ba? Kunyari, walang blockage dito sa trabecular meshwork. Gawa na lang ako. Sorry. Sorry for that. Ayan. Okay. So, we have here now the pressure. So, yung pressure ngayon, okay, yung pressure natin dito, kunyari lang, let us presume, yung pressure dito sa episcleral, no, sa canal of Schlem. Ito yung canal of Schlem natin, ang pressure dyan will be, sabihin natin, nasa 15 okay, millimeter mercury. Yung flow ng aqueous humor. Yung flow ng aqueous humor, okay, will be 15 millimeter mercury. Okay? Tapos, ang normal episcleral vein pressure natin, normal, episcleral vein pressure natin dito, okay, dito ha, will be 10 millimeter mercury. So, maganda yung daloy ng dugo because the movement will be from higher, di ba? The movement will be from higher to lower concentration. So, walang blockage, di ba? Walang factors that will try to obstruct the normal flow ng ating aqueous humor. Are you following, mga doc? Hello? Are you following, mga doc? Hello?
Yes po, Doc.
Naintindihan to? Okay, so kunin naman natin ngayon. Tumaas yung blood pressure, di ba, nung pasyente. So from 10, okay, from 10, naging 30. Ayan. From 10, naging 30 millimeter mercury. From 10, naging 30 millimeter mercury. Okay, yung kanyang pressure. So what will happen kapag mas mataas ngayon? Kasi tumaas yung BP ng pasyente. Mas mataas ngayon ang episcleral vein pressure. Mahirapang mag-drain. Di ba? Mahirapang mag-drain ngayon yung ating aqueous humor. From the canal of Schlem, okay, that is from the canal of Schlem. Yan, hindi dito ganyan. Okay? So, mahirapang mag-drain yung ating aqueous humor. Yan. Okay? Papunta ngayon dito. From the canal of Schlem going to the episcleral vein. So, what will happen? Pag mataas ang blood pressure, dalawa yung effect. Okay, increase mo yung aqueous humor secretion, diba, mas maraming lalabas na plasma. Okay, pag tumaas yung blood pressure. So you will try to increase. Okay, you will try to increase now the aqueous humor secretion. Ito, yung magiging effect. Okay, increase ang aqueous humor secretion. Then, tapos magkakaroon pa ng blockage dito in the outflow of the aqueous humor. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So, lagay natin dito. Okay, you will try to increase, okay, try to increase the aqueous humor. Increase, rather. So, you increase the secretion of aqueous humor. So, increase, okay, aqueous humor secretions. Kapag tumaas yung blood pressure, okay, ng pasyente. So, dalawa ang factor that you have to consider. Dalawang factor that you have to consider kapag, okay, ito, kapag tumaas yung patient's blood pressure. Are you following what I'm talking about? Hello? Are you
Yes,
following what I'm
Tito.
talking about? That is supposed to be when the patient is supposed to be hypertensive. When the patient is supposed to be hypertensive. Hypertensive. Yan. Okay. That will be now the effect. That will be now the effect, okay, in the presence of high blood pressure. Kaya meron kayong kakilala na mataas ang kanyang um, intraocular pressure, may glaucoma, yung pasyente. Pag nakakita kayo ng ganon, tingnan mo, check mo. Okay, check mo yung kanyang intraocular pressure. Merong time na pag talagang mataas yung blood pressure, masakit na rin yung mata, di ba, nung pasyente. That will be now one of the ocular manifestation if the patient have an elevated intraocular pressure. Okay? Are you following this one? What I'm talking about? Are you following with this one? Hello?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
So, elevated, lagay natin, elevated BP, okay, will result to also elevation of the intraocular pressure. Okay, lagay natin, increase, due to increase aqueous humor secretion and elevation. Okay, elevation of the episcleral vein pressure. Okay, that will try to prevent, okay, that will try to prevent drainage of the aqueous humor. O, ayan. That will be now the effect, ito, if the patient have an elevated blood pressure. Okay? Okay, so already gave you this one last time. Di ba? Yung reason kung bakit tumataas yung intraocular pressure, tapos yung management natin. Lagay ko na nga ito dito. I think I already discussed this one last time. Yung aim natin in the management of glaucoma. Nasaan na yun? Yung aim natin, ayan. Okay, so yung aim natin in the management of glaucoma. Ayan, lagyan natin yan. Okay, tapos, lagyan natin ito dito. Ayan. So, ito is dito rin. Ayan. Okay, so yung aim natin is babaliktaran natin yung reason kung bakit tumataas yung kanyang blood pressure. So, i-reverse natin pag ganon. Is supposed to be now our aim in the management of glaucoma. Okay, tapos kunin ko rin yan. Tapos ito naman. Yan. Enhance naman yung outflow ng aqueous humor. Okay? Naintindihan mga doki? Naintindihan mga doki? Alisin ko na rito. So, doon ko na inilagay para yan. Yan. Okay? Now, what are the factors that we have to consider? Okay, what are some of the factors that will cause increase in the aqueous humor and this will decrease? Oh, maganda ito pag decrease, di ba? Yung aqueous humor secretion. Because decreasing the aqueous humor secretion, okay, will lower the intraocular pressure. Ito naman, increase ang intraocular pressure. Okay, so bakit tumataas yung intraocular pressure? Yan, drainage, di ba? Increase ang drainage sa episcleral vein, one, okay, by doing Valsalva maneuver. And also, kung elevated yung kanyang blood pressure. Iba ito, tumaas yung blood pressure, tataas din ang episcleral brain pressure. And that will decrease the aqueous humor drainage. Do you know Valsalva maneuver? Have you heard of Valsalva maneuver? Hello? Have you heard of Valsalva maneuver? Anybody? Anybody?
No po, Doc.
Ay, wala. Ano yun? Yung pagbarado yung ano mo, yung tenga mo, hindi ka makarinig. Lalong-lalo na yung nasa eroplano ka, tapos pababa na yung descending na yung eroplano. 'Di ba masakit sa tenga? Tapos hindi na kayo makarinig. So ang gagawin mo is, okay, close your mouth, tapos pinch your nose, you blow or you swallow. Okay, mangyayari nun, meron kayong popping sound, 'di ba? Popping sound na maririnig. Magpa-pop out kasi yung tympanic membrane. Tapos makakarinig na kayo. Makakarinig na kayo. Hello? Have you tried? Would you kindly try it? Tapos tingnan mo. Tingnan mo kung totoo yung sinasabi ko. Okay? So ayan si Acevedo. Okay? So ganun ang ginagawa. Okay? Ganun ang ginagawa kapag yan nabibingi na kayo. 'Di ba? Pag pababa na yung eroplano. So yung procedure na yon, ang tawag doon, we call it as Valsalva maneuver. However, hindi ka pwede mag-Valsalva maneuver, sabihin mo sa pasyente mo, kung may glaucoma. Kasi lalong tataas yung kanyang intraocular pressure. Kasi tumataas, okay, yung episcleral vein pressure. So both elevated BP and doing Valsalva maneuver, okay, will result to further elevation ng intraocular pressure. Di ba? Lalong-lalo na sa pasyenteng may glaucoma. Okay, this time, yung pasyente naman is nandun sa hospital, inpatient. Paalis na siya, pinauubos na lang yung swero. Kalalagay lang ng swero. So, anong ginawa ngayon ni patient? Kasi gusto niya nang umuwi. Binuksan niya ngayon yung sa IV, sa may IV fluid. Merong kinokontrol doon eh. So, ang ginawa niya, binuksan niya para mabilis ngayon. Okay, yung daloy ng fluid papunta sa ugat niya. And if you will try to increase, sudden increase yun eh, ng blood volume. Kasi pupunta yan eh. Diba sa blood pressure mo, increase ang blood volume mo, increase ngayon yung pumping ability ng puso mo. Ang tawag doon, we call it as cardiac output. Diba? So increase output, cardiac output. Lalabas na dugo, diba, nung puso mo. So mag increase yung pumping ability. Okay? Pag increase yung pumping ability mo, then ang magiging effect nun, tumataas yung blood pressure and that will increase the aqueous humor secretion and that elevate the intraocular pressure. Okay? So the same, nagja-jogging ba kayo sa umaga? Meron ba ritong time na nag-jogging kayo sa umaga? Okay? Walang ulan ha. Huwag yung may ulan. Okay? Uso nga yung sakit. Kasi sinisipon na. Okay. So, ang gagawin nyo, di ba, you perspire a lot. May dala-dala kayong tubig, 1 litrong tubig, malamig. Okay? Hindi pa kayo nag-aagahan nun at that time. So, dahil uhaw na uhaw ka, ininom mo ngayon, mabilis, yung 1 litro ng tubig. O di ganun din yung effect nun. In an empty stomach, Okay, most of the fluid, okay, the water that you drink, okay, will be readily absorbed, okay, in the general blood circulation. So there will be sudden increase in the blood volume. Lagyan na nga natin dito. There will be sudden increase in the blood volume. So pareho lang yun. Di ba pareho lang yon, yung pasyente, binuksan yung IV fluid para maubos yung 1 litro ng IV fluid. Ito, ganun din. Okay, ininom mo naman in an empty stomach, ganun din. You also increase the cardiac output. So increasing the cardiac output, the same yung effect, elevate the blood pressure, increase ang aqueous humor secretion. Okay, that will be the effect. Okay, that will be the effect. Okay, of increasing suddenly the blood volume. Okay, in our body. Now, may rhythm din yung elevation ng intraocular pressure. Usually, mataas yan sa umaga pagkagising nyo. Pero, bumababa yan okay, pagdating sa gabi. And you will notice, di ba sabi natin, pag tulog tayo, di ba, kalahati lang yung secretion, di ba, ng aqueous humor, which is good. Kasi kung ang pasyente may glaucoma, at least pag natutulog siya, di ba, hindi siya mabubulag kasi hindi tumataas yung kanyang intraocular pressure. Kaya lang, pagdating na ng paumaga, ayun na, doon na nag-elevate yung kanyang intraocular pressure. Unlike for the blood pressure, ang blood pressure natin, dalawa ang rhythm. Tumataas siya sa umaga, tumataas din siya sa gabi. Kaya ang pasyente, dalawang klase yung iniinom kapag hindi nakokontrol yung blood pressure niya. Meron sa umaga, mayroon din sa gabi. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello? Hello? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello? Are you still there?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, sige. Ano naman yung factor that decrease naman, di ba, the intraocular pressure that decrease the aqueous humor secretion? One, poisoning with Obain or Vanadate. Okay, two, uminom ng anti-glaucoma agent. Meron to acetazolamide is supposed to be taken orally. So mamaya na lang yan. Yung carbonic anhydrase inhibitor natin. Okay, and the other one is, okay, meron akong pinapagawa sa pasyente kapag mataas yung kanyang intraocular pressure, okay, wala siyang dalang gamot na pampatak. Pampataka such as Timolol. Timolol is anti-glaucoma agent. Di ba? Ang gagawin, sabihin ko sa kanya, okay, mag-cold compress ka. Mag-cold compress ka, kuha kang bulak, okay, tubig, may yellow, lublob mo yung bulak, okay, piga, tapos lagay mo sa mata mo. Ayan. So, lalamig. Manunuot yung lamig papunta sa loob ng mata. So, yung lamig, pag inabot yan ng 19 degrees centigrade, i-decrease niya yung secretion. Okay? Because of that cold compress, i-decrease niya ngayon yung secretion ng aqueous humor natin. Kasi magko-constrict yung blood vessel, magko-constrict yung blood vessel doon sa ating ciliary process. And constricting the blood vessel at the ciliary process, that will try to decrease the secretion. Okay, it will try to decrease the aqueous humor secretion. Ayan. So, ito yung pwede mong i-advise, di ba, doon sa pasyente but never prescribe. Never prescribe an anti-glaucoma agent. Kasi hindi yan kasama sa DPA nyo. Okay? Naintindihan mga doc?
Yes
Hello?
po.
Naintindihan to ha? Importante ito. Kasi yan yung mga pwede nyong i-advise okay, when you encountered patient now with glaucoma. Okay, with elevated intraocular pressure. Okay, so this time, kukunin natin, last time I told you that, okay, we have here now this type of glaucoma. We have the open angle, okay, and then we have here now this angle closure type of glaucoma. So ito yung huli natin yung table. Diba? So we have the primary, the other one is secondary. So, pag sinabi natin primary, as I've said, ay bakit? Bakit nagkaroon siya ng open angle glaucoma? Di ba? Hindi ko rin alam eh. Kung bakit eh. So, I cannot pinpoint the possible etiology. So, we call it as idiopathic. Pero, kapag mapipinpoint ko yung probable cause, bakit siya nagkaroon ng open angle glaucoma, okay, ito yung mga etiologies. Nag-accumulation ng blood sa aqueous chamber, we call it as hyphema. Okay, may nana, di ba, doon sa may aqueous chamber, okay, we call it as hypopyon. So when you see the word pyo, di ba sa ano natin, sa microbiology, pyogenic cocci. So ang ibig sabihin ng pyo, nana. It means pus. Kaya pyogenic cocci is pus forming. Just remember your microbiogenic. O, ayan. Cocci, di ba bacteria yon? Yung cocci natin. Ayan. These are supposed to be pus forming. Di ba? These are supposed to be pus na. Okay, forming cocci. So that's what you mean by the word pyo. That's what you mean by the word pyo. Ito yon. Okay, so ayun yan, pyo. Ayun yung ating pyo. 'Di ba? Hypopyon. And what are the condition which are related? Condition which are related, nagkakaroon ng hypema, 'di ba, yung pasyente. Okay, if there will be injury, okay, if there will be injury to the blood vessel, okay, injury sa blood vessel sa mata natin. Just to remember, yung most vascular natin sa mata natin is the uvea. 'Di ba? So, lalong-lalo na kapag tinamaan yung ating ciliary body. Okay, the ciliary body will be one of the vascular. Okay, the most vascular and the most dangerous, okay, part ng coat ng eyeball natin because they are highly vascular. So, pag tinamaan ngayon yung blood vessel, kunyari ito yung ating ano, ayan, okay? So, we have here now the ciliary body. Okay, nagkaroon ng injury dito, pumutok yung blood vessel. Di ba may mga blood vessel yan sa ciliary process natin. O, di lalabas yung ating aqueous, lalabas yung dugo natin. And that blood that will be accumulated going to the posterior aqueous chamber will go to the anterior aqueous chamber. O, ayan na siya ngayon. Ayan na ngayon yung dugo, di ba na dito, papunta sa aqueous chamber. Saan ba pupunta yung aqueous humor mo containing now the blood? Di ba? Nando sa trabecula. Babara yan. Di ba? Sa trabecular meshwork, kung bumara, then ma-prevent mo yung drainage. Pero normal yung angle. Di ba? So what causes the blockage at the trabecular meshwork because of the accumulation of blood? O, isang factor yan. The other one is nana. O, ayan, may nana. Di ba? Kasi yung pasyente nagkaroon ngayon ng endophthalmitis. May infection. Di ba? Nasa loob ng mata. Okay? At merong nana. Siguro natusok din. Di ba? Yung kanyang cornea, then nag-introduce ng bacteria. And the bacteria is a fast-forming bacteria. Di ba? Kaya, dumami yung bacteria, nag-accumulate yung nana dito. Okay? So, endophthalmitis ang cause nun. Endophthalmitis ang cause nun. So, this is supposed to be now, as I have said, the nana. This is now the pus. And then, sa kabila naman, okay, will be now the blood. Ito naman. Okay, this is supposed to be now the blood. Gawin natin kulay puti para kita. Okay, so this is supposed to be now the blood that had been accumulated. Okay, accumulated dito. Okay, sa my aqueous chamber. So both the blood and the pus, okay, will be drained here. Ito na siya ngayon. Ito ngayon si blood, di ba, will be accumulated. Ayan, rather it will blind to block rather the trabecular meshwork. Okay, or kung nana naman, ito naman si nana. O, iba block naman ni nana. Di ba yung trabecular meshwork? Do you understand, mga doc? Hello? Naintindihan, mga doc?
Opo, Doc.
Okay, so ano pa yung isa? Na probable etiology that causes now this blockage at the trabecular meshwork. Okay, so another one, we have here now this, ayan, yung melanin pigment. Yung melanin pigment, okay, natanggal from the iris. Ang tawag doon, pigment dispersion syndrome. So, pigment dispersion syndrome will be now our PDS. Okay, so ang cause naman nitong pigment dispersion syndrome kasi yung pasyente nagpatak ng gamot. Nagpatak ng gamot, okay, nagpatak siya ng phenylephrine, ophthalmic, DPA nyo to eh, yung phenylephrine eh, di ba? Kasi kasama yan, this is one of the component ng gamot para for red eye. Because the effect of phenylephrine and epinephrine is a vasoconstrictive agent. Vasoconstrictive agent. Okay? So, secondary na yan. Di ba? Kaya natanggal yung pigment sa iris natin. Pero karamihan ng pigment dispersion syndrome, ang etiology is idiopathic. Pero merong secondary. Kaya tayo pumasok dito. Okay, merong secondary type. So ito na yung secondary type natin. Yan ko na nga ito. Yan. Okay? This is now the secondary type. Okay, ng pigment dispersion syndrome. So ito naman nangyari. Ganito nangyari. So normally, di ba itong iris natin may pigment. O yan. Okay, may pigment yung ating iris. Dahil nagpatak ka ngayon, di ba, ng epinephrine, phenylephrine, kasi ginamit mo para mawala. Okay, yung red eye mo, natatanggal ngayon ito. Natatanggal ngayon itong pigment natin. Okay, sa iris. So, saan pupunta yung pigment na yan pag natanggal? Okay, sasama siya sa flow. Di ba, ng ating aqueous humor. So, pagsama sa flow, saan ba i-drain yan? Papunta rito. Di ba, sa trabecular meshwork. O, di ba bara yan? Di ba, babara ngayon, okay, itong ating iris pigment, okay, dito sa ating trabecular meshwork. Are you following what I'm talking about? Hello?
Yes, Doc.
Are you following? Okay? That will be now this pigment. So, ang tawag dyan ha, pigment dispersion syndrome. And that is secondary to the ophthalmic epinephrine and ophthalmic phenylephrine. Okay? Ginamit ng pasyente. Okay, the other one is yung pasyente diabetic. Yung pasyente ha, diabetic. So, kapag ang pasyente diabetic, ayan, okay? So, ano yan? Secondary rin yan. Diba? Secondary yan kasi bakit tumataas ang intraocular pressure ng mga pasyenteng diabetic? Okay? Because of the accumulation of glycosaminoglycan. Okay? So, kapag ang pasyente, di ba, sabi natin, okay, nagsisikret tayo ng aqueous humor. Di ba? Mataas ang ano mo, mataas ang sugar mo sa dugo. O, di magpi-filter ka rin, di ba, ng plasma containing the sugar. Are you following what I'm talking about? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Are you following what I'm talking about? Ito na siya ngayon. Yan. Hello? Are you following what I'm talking about? Hello, hello, hello. Am I still around?
Yes po, Doc.
Ayun, sige. Kaya ako parati nagtatanong kasi yung signal ko minsan humihina eh. So please respond. Okay, please respond when I ask you if you are still around. Okay, so what happened here? Di may hyperglycemia yung pasyente. Nag-filter ka ng plasma to become the aqueous humor. So this time, yung aqueous humor mo are supposed to be reached now with high glucose. May glucose ang aqueous humor, pero hindi mataas. Di ba yung glucose? Now, the problem here is that yung glucose ngayon, sasama ngayon yan dito. Di ba? Sasama ngayon yan dito sa flow ng aqueous humor And this glucose, okay, that will be accumulated at the trabecular meshwork, nagpo-form siya ngayon ng glycosaminoglycan. Okay, so lagyan natin dito. Okay, we have here now this glyco. So pag sobra yung glucose mo sa aqueous humor mo, okay, what you will form is a large molecule. Okay, what you will form is a large molecule of glyco. Glycosamino no glycans. So ano ba yung glycosaminoglycan? It's a combination of glucose and amino acid. Okay, so amino acid is protein. 'Di ba may protein din yung component ng ating plasma na pinilter to become the aqueous humor. So magko-combine ngayon yung amino acid, which is the protein, with that of the glucose. And this glycosaminoglycan, okay, dahil malaki yung molecule niya, mabablock dito. Mabablock dito sa trabecular meshwork. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Hello?
Doc.
Okay? That will be now ito naman yon. Sabi natin, sugar naman. So, the patient is supposed to be diabetic. There will be accumulation of glycosaminoglycans. Okay? In patient who are diabetic. Ayan. That is supposed to be, okay, what happened? Okay, that's supposed to be what happened. Ay, mali dito natin. So, lagay ko rito is patient which are diabetic, uncontrolled yung blood sugar, the glycosaminoglycan, okay, will block the trabecular. Okay, will track the trabecular meshwork. Okay, and that will result to, kahit normal ang secretion ng aqueous humor mo, that can result na to, at normal yung angle mo, di ba, that can result to elevation of the intraocular pressure. Okay, so these are some of the secondary etiology that can be seen in patient with open angle glaucoma. Okay, so another one, we have the angle closure type of glaucoma. Okay, nasabi ko na ito that this is supposed to be an emergency type of glaucoma because of the sudden elevation of the intraocular pressure. So we also divide it into primary. Okay, the etiology is again unknown. And then we had the secondary. Secondary, again, napipinpoint natin. Di ba yung cause, bakit tumataas yung kanyang intraocular pressure. Pero may narrowing. Di ba? There will be narrowing, okay, of the angle. Okay, so kunin natin ngayon yung sa secondary. Wait. I have a message for a while lang. Okay. Okay. So, as I've said, okay, pag sinabing secondary, I'm sorry for that interruption. Okay, pwede tayong magturo kung anong probable cause. Okay, so one, okay, nagkaroon dito ng sinikya. Do you know sinikya? Have you heard of sinikya? Hello? Have you heard of sinikya?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, would you kindly define sinikya?
Yung adhesion po, Doc, adhesion
Ng?
of ng iris po sa lens po. May para po, kaya po nagiging narrow yung
Addition ng ano, ng iris at saka,
iris, posterior iris and the anterior lens po.
okay, so pwedeng dumikit siya sa cornea. Ito, di ba? This is supposed to be the anterior. Kunyari, ito ha, dumikit. Huwag mo natin tingnan itong open angle glaucoma. So kapag dumikit ito, di ba, nagkaroon siya ng iritis. nagkaroon ng iritis, okay, yung pasyente, inflammation sa iris natin. Or, pwede mo sabihin, anterior uveitis. Kasi di ba meron tayong anterior uvea and posterior uvea. Di ba? So, the anterior uvea, sabi natin, okay, will be the iris and the ciliary body. So, inflammation sa iris, we call it as iritis. Inflammation sa ciliary body, ano tawag sa inflammation sa ciliary body? Inflammation sa ciliary body. Hello? Ano tawag? Inflammation sa ciliary body. Pardon? Hindi ko marinig.
Doc, iritis.
Okay, ulit ha. Ito na lang. Okay, so ganito yan. So inflammation sa, di ba sabi natin we have the anterior uvea. Posterior uvea, di ba, will be your choroid. So the anterior uvea, hati natin ngayon sa dalawa. Yung anterior uvea natin. Okay, wait, crop ko lang. Okay, crop ko lang siya. Ayan. Hindi makita kasi. Angat natin doon. Okay. So you have here now this anterior uvea. So anterior uvea are actually divided into two structures that comprises the anterior uvea. So that will be now the yan. So that will be now the most anterior is the iris. Okay, the most anterior, that will be now the iris. Kaya pag may inflammation sa iris, lagyan mo lang ng itis. So we call it as the iritis. Okay, then another one, we have here now the ciliary body. Diba? We have the ciliary body. So pag may inflammation sa ciliary body, anong medical term?
Doc, iridociclitis.
Hindi. Kasama yung iris doon. Ang medical term lang is cyclitis. Yan. Kaso, di ba yung iris mo nakadikit dito sa ciliary body? So, pag may inflammation sa iris, then the infection can go to the ciliary body. O di iridocyclitis ang tawag na doon. Pero kapag ciliary body lang ang inflammation, cyclitis lang ang tawag. Or, so kung may inflammation sa anterior uvea, generalize. Hindi sinabing yung iris ang may inflammation, may ciliary body ang inflammation, then pwede mong sabihin ang pasyente mayroong anterior uveitis. Ayan. Okay? Kaya general term yung anterior uveitis na sinasabi. Are you following, mga dokti? What I'm talking about? Hello, hello, hello. Are you following?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, okay? So, yan yun ha. That is supposed to be now our... Likulin natin ito. Okay, that is supposed to be now... Yan. Okay, that will be now our uveitis. So, what will happen kapag ito, okay, yung iris na maga. Ito yung iris na maga. Magsiswell yan. Pag nag-swell ngayon, yung iris mo, pwede siyang dumikit dito. Ito, mas malapit eh. Kakatiin mo yung iris mo into pupillary zone, tapos ito yung ciliary zone, di ba, of the iris. So, hatiin natin. This is now the pupillary zone kasi malapit siya sa pupil eh. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya, that will be now the pupillary zone. Di ba? Pupillary zone of the iris natin. Yan. Okay. Gawin natin is protect. Okay. So, this is now the pupillary zone of the iris. Yan. Pupillary zone. Okay, of the iris. So, kung merong pupillary zone, then meron tayong ciliary zone. Bakit ciliary zone? Kasi malapit siya sa ciliary body dito. This is now the ciliary zone. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello?
Yes, Doc.
Yan, sige. So, pag namaga, ayan, pag namaga, yung ating iris, yan na namaga, yung iris natin, magsuswell siya. Ito nga, anong number to? 73. Kuha ko ng cut portion ng iris. Saan na ba yun? Yung cut portion, ito. Yan. Ito na pala, meron tayong ciliary, so hindi na lang. Mas maganda doon. Okay, so what happened here? Okay, what happened here is that 70, ito, ayan. So what happened here, nag-swell. Di ba ito, nag-swell. Okay, si iris natin. O, ayan, nag-swell. Di ba si iris? So pag nag-swell ngayon si iris, anong mangyayari? Posteriorly, ito posteriorly, namaga siya, didikit siya ngayon. Okay, dito sa ating crystalline lens. So pag dumikit sa crystalline lens, sinikya. Okay? And this is posterior synechia. And what will happen kapag nagkaroon ng posterior synechia? Di block yung, di ba, sarado ito, nakadikit yung iris mo dito sa may crystalline lens. O di barado ito. Di ba, yung outflow from the posterior aqueous chamber going to the anterior aqueous chamber. And that will elevate the intraocular pressure. Kaya lang, anong mangyayari dito? Dahil dumadami ng dumadami, yung aqueous humor mo, tutulak mo ngayon ito. Di ba? Tutulak mo ngayon yung ating iris na hindi nakadikit. Ano ba yung hindi nakadikit na iris dito? That will be the ciliary zone. So pag tinulak mo 'yan, o yan na, magana nga. Okay, pagkatapos tinulak mo pa, what will happen? O yan, magnanaro. 'Di ba yung angle dito? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello. Do you understand mga doki what I'm talking
Yes po,
about?
Doc.
Ayun. O so, magkakaroon ka ngayon ng angle closure. Di ba? Ang cause ng nagnaro ng angle, dumikit siya, tinulak mo ito. Di ba? Yung peripheral part ng iris natin, the ciliary zone. Okay, tinulak mo forward, that narrow the angle. So narrowing the angle, prevent now the drainage. O, ayan. Prevent now the drainage, di ba, nung aqueous humor natin, papunta rito sa trabecular meshwork because of narrowing, okay, of the angle. Okay, okay yung trabecula, at saka okay yung uveus sclera mo, walang bara doon. Nag-move forward di dumikit yan. Pag dumikit ngayon yan, nag-narrow yung angle, kahit open, walang problema yung trabecula and the uveus sclera. Okay, you limit now the outflow going to this area at the trabecular meshwork. Okay, so that will be now the posterior synechia. Si anterior synechia naman, dumikit dito. So ito, ayan, namaga ito, di ba? So nung namaga siya ngayon, ulitin ko na lang ha. Palitin ko daw. Okay, nung namaga siya ngayon, dumikit siya rito. Yan. Okay, so may posterior part ng ating sclera. Di ba? That is anterior synechia. O di totally black na yan, yung ating trabecular meshwork. Okay, kapag dumikit siya. O yan. Dumikit siya, dumikit siya, dumikit siya. O di wala na. Dikit na yung ating iris dito sa posterior part ng ating cornea. And that will totally occlude our trabecular meshwork. Do you understand? So ito naman, what you have here is an angle closure glaucoma without pupillary block. Ito yung kanina, angle closure glaucoma with pupillary block. So therefore, if the patient have this synechia, okay, kunin natin uli. Ano ba yun? Okay. So if the patient here have secondary type, okay, of glaucoma, okay, pwede nagkaroon muna siya ng iritis or anterior uveitis. And this iritis or anterior uveitis, okay, can result now to synechia. Okay, can result now to synechia. And this synechia can result now to secondary type of angle closure glaucoma. Okay, so ano yun? Pag anterior synechia, that can result to secondary angle closure glaucoma with pupillary block, without rather, pupillary block. Pero pag posterior synechia, okay, na-block mo yung pupil. Diba? That result na to secondary angle closure glaucoma with pupillary block. Do you understand? Naka-record to ano, Randolph? Randolph? Hello? Naka-record ba tayo? Yung video recording?
Yes po, Doc. Meron daw po nag-record.
Sige, sige. Kasi para sa section dog, kawawa naman sila. Okay? And those who failed to attend today, either section B or section B or section A. Pero mas maganda umattend para mas lalo niyong maintindihan. Okay, that will be now the probable etiology that causes now the secondary angle closure glaucoma. Ayan. Okay, so ito na yon. Yung ating secondary open angle. May kulang pa pala. I'm sorry. May nakalimutan pa pala ako dito. So sabi natin kanina is hypema and hypopyon. Sorry. Okay, then patient who are supposed to be now the diabetic. Patient or supposed to be now this diabetic. And also, I'm sorry, pakidagdag ito, and also gamot. Prolonged use of corticosteroid. Okay, lalong-lalo na yung common is dexamethasone. Okay, Tobradex na sinasabi. Diba? So the Tobradex contains now the steroid, okay, and antibiotic, tobramycin and dexamethasone. So the most long-acting and most powerful corticosteroid na pinapatak sa mata, that will be the dexamethasone, and the other one we have the betamethasone. So ganun din to, parang diabetic kasi ang steroid nakakataas ng sugar yan. And what will happen pag tumaas ang sugar, magko-combine uli, okay, doon sa ating amino acid that result na to glyco, okay, or gluco. Pwede rin kasing glyco or pwede rin siyang glycan. Ganito ha, hello. Pwede siyang glycosaminoglycan or glucosaminoglycan. Pareho yun. And that will be accumulated at the aqueous chamber that will try to block the trabecular meshwork and canal. So, yun ang cause kung bakit tumataas yung intraocular pressure, okay, kapag parating nagpapatak ng gamot na may steroid, okay, yung pasyente. Now, we have an oral steroid, the other one is ophthalmic steroid. So mas mabilis maka-glaucoma kapag ang pasyente gumagamit ng ophthalmic na steroid. O ayan, yung dexamethasone and the betamethasone, especially if this medication are instilled 3 times a day for 4 to 6 weeks. So that is equivalent to 1.5 months. Kaya yung mga gamot sa mata, okay, hindi mo mabibili yan without prescription. Kasi baka i-abuse, okay, ng pasyente. Okay, mabulag. Without knowing, okay, pwedeng mabulag, di ba, yung pasyente. Okay? As compared to the oral steroid, example ng oral steroid, most common will be now the prednisone. O yan, yung pasyente under treatment, okay, nung prednisone. Okay, and how long that the patient will take the prednisone? Matagalan yan eh. Pwedeng lifetime iniinom ng pasyente yan, lalo-lalo na kapag yung pasyente may transplanted na organ. Transplanted na organ because this is anti-rejecting agent. Para yung binigay na organ sa kanya, di ba, hindi masira. Okay, because of this prednisone steroid. So lifetime iniinom, di ba? Lifetime iniinom. So kung ininom niya ngayon yung prednisone, ganun din. Okay, ang inom niya is 3 times a day, oral naman. This time for 1.5 years naman. So that will be equivalent to 12 to 18 months. Okay, tataas din yung kanyang intraocular pressure kasi yung ininom mong gamot nakakataas ng sugar. Kakataasan ng sugar o pupunta rin niya sa mata, that can result to accumulation of glycosaminoglycan or glucosaminoglycan. So mas mabilis, 'di ba, nagkakaroon ng glaucoma ang pasyente sa pinatak kesa doon sa ininom. Kasi ito 4 to 6 weeks lang, ito is 12 to 18 months. Okay? That will be now the problem. Okay, the problem if the patient okay or if the patient here are supposed to be now suffering from okay or taking rather corticosteroid. Okay, so another one okay, we have here now this cataract. Have you heard of Morgagian cataract? Have you heard of the Morgagian cataract? Ocular disease. I don't know if it is one or two sa inyo. Ocular disease? Hello?
Yes, Doc.
Po.
Yan, okay? So, nakita nyo ang itsura ng Morgagian? Di ba ganito yung mga katarata? This is already the mature cataract. Yan, kitang-kita na yan, di ba? Pag sinilip mo sa slit lamp. Okay? Kahit yung pen light lang, makikita mo na. Puting-puti. Di ba yung kanyang cataract? So, puti yung kanyang pupil, leukocoria. Di ba ang tawag natin? This is already the mature type of cataract. Pag nag-over-mature yan or hyper-mature yan, then that will be now the nagli-liquefy na yan pag sobrang mature. That is the Morgagian cataract. And the Morgagian cataract, dahil liquefied na siya, you will notice yung nucleus niya, ito yung nucleus niya, naging kulay brown. Okay, at yung brown na nucleus na yan, okay, pag sobrang liquefied na yan, by gravity, babagsak yan dito. Kaya makikita mo yung, pero nakakapsule pa rin yan, ha? Nakakapsule pa rin yan. Okay, yung cataractus lens, okay, yung Morgagian cataractus lens na mayroon pang brownish nucleus. However, okay, pwedeng pumutok yan, mag-rupture yan, yung Morgagian cataract na yan. So what will happen kapag pumutok yan? Di yung liquid niyan sasama dito, di ba, sa aqueous humor. And that liquid, okay, ng Morgagian cataract, okay, will block the trabecular meshwork. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello? You
Yes,
understand
po, Doc.
what I'm talking about? Okay? So, kunin ko nga to. Try kong gumawa ng nag-rupture. Try kong gumawa ng nag-rupture. Kunyari, ito yung katarata. Okay, pumutok siya. Tapos, yan. So, pumutok. Lagyan natin dito sa may ilalim. Yan. So, pumutok siya ngayon. Tapos, okay, that. Okay, so pumutok, then mag-accumulate siya ngayon dito. Do you understand? Hello, ayan, pag nag-rupture. Ito yan ha, pag nag-rupture yung Morgagian cataract, okay, so mangyayari ngayon is mag-accumulate. Okay? Mag-accumulate sa may aqueous chamber, from the aqueous chamber, babarayan sa trabecular meshwork. Do you understand, mga doc? Hello?
Yes, po, Doc.
You understand? Okay? So that will be now the effect, okay, ng Morgagian cataract. I'm sorry, nakalimutan ko ito. Okay? So these are the etiology. Sorry, nakalimutan ko. I'm sorry, pakidagdag na lang. Okay, this will be now the effect, secondary etiologies rather, that causes now this open angle glaucoma. I'm sorry. Okay, so balik ulit tayo sa primary. So what are the manifestation if the patient have this primary? What are the manifestation if the patient have this primary open angle type of glaucoma? Sorry, nakalimutan ko. Okay? Imperceptible gradual loss of vision. Ito yung sinasabing nabubulag ka, di ba? Pero hindi mo nararamdaman because the retina, di ba? Apektuhan retina eh. The retina is insensitive kasi wala siyang sensory innervation. Wala siyang sensory innervation. And that causes the silent thief, okay? The silent thief of sight na sinasabi. Because that result to painless blindness. Painless blindness, okay, on the patient. You understand, mga doc? Naintindihan, okay? And there will be peripheral loss of vision. Yan, puro peripheral loss of vision naman talaga. So, pag may peripheral loss of vision, yung pasyente, nagkakaroon siya ngayon ng tunnel. Nagkakaroon ng tunnel vision, okay, yung pasyente. So, alam niyo na yan. Okay, kasi na-discuss na natin ito during our first case. Diba? During our first case. Ayan. So, may tunnel vision, okay, yung pasyente, kapag meron ng optic nerve atrophy. Ha? And the capping is more than the capping will be more than 0.5. Okay, the capping will be more than 0.5 millimeter. Okay, that will be now the glaucoma tooth capping natin. Okay, because the normal is 0.3, di ba? Kung dinivide natin itong dalawa, lalabas yan is 0.3. So, pwede pa rin siyang from 0.3 hanggang 0.3 to 0.5, okay pa rin daw, sabi ni ophthalmologist, but not more than 0.5. Not more than 0.5, bakit millimeter ito? Okay, not more than 0.5, okay, yung cap-dis ratio, okay, nung pasyente. Okay? Then, what will be our management, as I have said? Then, pag open angle, ang treatment is medical. Medical, sabay the book, medical. Okay, so ang treatment is supposed to be medical, yung management natin. Okay, and one form of primary open angle glaucoma, that is juvenile open angle. So, pag sinabong juvenile, bata, di ba? So, it can start here from 3-year-old, okay, hanggang sa 40 years of age. Kasi normally, yung glaucoma, actually the glaucoma can occur anytime. Kaya lang, okay, pag ganitong juvenile, yan, bata pa, tumataas na yung intraocular pressure, di ba, nung pasyente. Mas delikado yan, okay, yung juvenile. Bata pa, okay, nag-glaucoma na yung pasyente. Kaya ang treatment dito kapag juvenile, to save, okay, yung kanyang mata is surgery, trabeculectomy. Okay, because they are non-responsive dito sa medical anti-glaucoma agent. Okay, so kailangan aggressive na, bata pa Okay, kailangan is masave natin yung mata ng pasyente. That will be the clinical manifestation of primary open angle glaucoma. For the for the primary, for the primary angle closure glaucoma, ito naman yung kanyang sign and symptom, okay, nung pasyente. Okay, so what are the sign and symptom, okay, of this patient? Okay, one, there will be blurring of vision, okay, nung pasyente. Bakit blurred yung vision? Kasi yung taas ng kanyang intraocular pressure, pumapasok yung fluid, papunta ngayon sa my cornea. So magkakaroon ng edematous swelling, di ba, ng cornea. So pag nagkaroon ng edematous swelling ng kanyang cornea, then cloudy, di ba, yung kanyang cornea, then that results na to blurring of vision, di ba, nung patient. Kaya never refract patient, okay, kapag mayroong glaucoma. Okay, paiba-iba yung grado niyan. Pag nag-normal yung kanyang intraocular pressure, kasi nagpatak siya ng gamot, magki-clear ulit yung kanyang cornea. Okay? And then another manifestation is halo around bright light, or what we call as iridescent vision. O ayan. This is supposed to be the iridescent vision. Okay, ito yung bright light. Ewan ko kung naka-experience kayo ng ganito. Okay? Ito yung bright light, tapos surrounding the bright light may halo. Okay, may halo rito surrounding now the bright light. Tapos may iba-ibang kulay parang rainbow. Ayan, okay? That will be now the iridescent. Tawag dito, we call it as iridescent vision. And then pupils are mid-dilated, usually non-responsive to bright light. Okay, direct. Okay, direct light rito. Okay, and this is one of the manifestation. If there will be an optic nerve atrophy, ganito ang manifestation ng pasyenteng may Marcus-Gann pupil. And Marcus-Gann pupil is one, okay, of the condition which are related to anisocoria. One of the condition which are related to anisocoria. So usually, ang damage will be the optic nerve dito. May optic nerve damage ito eh. So sa direct reflex, direct light reflex, non-responsive. Pag indirect light reflex meron, okay, there will be sluggish constriction of the affected pupil. Okay? Pag nag-accommodate ang pasyente, meron din. Meron din na there will be constriction also of the pupil. Okay? So lagay natin dito indirect light reflex and near, sabi natin. Okay, near reflex, there will be constriction, okay, of the pupil. Okay, so next one, ito na to, sabi ko na ito. Okay, next one, we have here now this ciliary injection. We have the ciliary injection. Have you heard of conjunctival and ciliary injection? Hello. Have you heard of the word conjunctival and ciliary injection? Yan. So pag ciliary injection, di ba, to differentiate with the conjunctival injection, ayan, ang dilated is ciliary artery. Ito yung opacity ng kanyang cornea kasi mataas ang pressure, di ba, nung pasyente. And this is now the ciliary injection. Ito yon. This is the conjunctival injection and this is the ciliary injection. Di ba? So dito ang dilated will be now the ciliary artery. Dito ang dilated conjunctival artery. Tapos yung pattern ng blood vessel dito is tortuous. Di ba? Starting from the fornix, it fades toward to the limbus. Pero yung ating ciliary injection, ito, straight yung blood vessel dito. Straight in course, ayan, pag ganyan, yung blood vessel niya, straight. Okay, yung blood vessel dito, lagay natin, okay? Ang nag-dilate will be now the ciliary. Okay, ang nag-dilate dito will be now the ciliary artery. Yan, pag ganyan. Are you following? Mga doki? Hello? Are you following? Mga doc? Yan. So
Yes,
that will
Doc.
be straight in course. Kaya titingnan natin, ito pure ciliary injection. O, ayan. Okay, yung dilated blood vessel which is straight in course will start here from the limbus and then it fade toward to the fornix which is baliktad with a conjunctival injection. Tortuous ang blood vessel, okay, nag-start dito sa may fornix, nag-fade papunta rito sa may limbal area. Okay? Pag pinatakan mo yan ng 0.1% ng epinephrine, which is a vasoconstrictive, hindi mawawala yan. Hindi mawawala yung red eye. Ito mawawala yung red eye. Okay? Kasi mababaw lang yung conjunctival artery. Pag binigyan mo ng 0.1%, okay, ng epinephrine or what we called as adrenaline. Yun yung pagkakaiba. Okay, between the conjunctival injection and the other one is the ciliary injection. Naturo naman yun, Doc? Naturo naman sa inyo. Okay, so what are the diseases? Pardon, naturo?
Opo, Doc.
Yan, sige. Okay, so, okay. So, anong probable cause ng pag may ciliary injection? Paki-check ang intraocular pressure, baka may glaucoma. baka mayroong anterior uveitis, okay, yung pasyente, or baka mayroong keratitis, di ba, yung pasyente. These are the three conditions which are related to ciliary injection. Ay glaucoma tayo. O, di, ito yung cause, di ba, ito yung cause kung bakit nagkaroon siya ng conjunctival injection. Okay, yung pasyente. Okay, next one, we have here now this ocular pain. Kasi taas ng pressure eh. Tigas ng ano niyan. Matigas yung kanyang mata. Okay, tinuro ko ba sa inyo kung paano mag-digital palpation? Digital palpation? Para kung malaman mo kung mataas ang intraocular pressure ng pasyente. I did.
Hindi po, Doc. Pero hindi po sa ocular disease namin.
Tinuro sa inyo. Yung dalawang daliri ha. Sige, demo ko na lang pag nagkita-kita ulit tayo. Okay? Tapos meron silang headache and because of that headache, sumusuka. Okay, yung pasyente. So the medical term for vomiting, we call it as the emesis. Okay, so this is the typical manifestation. If the patient have an angle closure glaucoma. Mabilis eh. Di ba? Mabilis ang kanyang elevation ng intraocular pressure kaya nagmamanifest ng ganito agad. Di ba yung pasyente? Okay? So the treatment, dahil emergency yan, we have to subject the patient for surgery. And the most common, okay, you can do if the patient have this synechia, or rather angle closure glaucoma, okay, lalo-lalo na kung may synechia, then subject the patient for peripheral laser iridotomy. Bubutasan natin yung iris, di ba, ng pasyente para magkaroon ng connection between the anterior and posterior aqueous chamber. Okay, using diag laser or argon laser, especially if the patient have posterior synechia. Posterior or posterior synechia. Okay, so dumikit eh. Di ba sabi natin, dumikit. So, nung dumikit ngayon, ito, butasan mo rito. Di ba? Butasan mo rito, yan, natin dito, para magkaroon ng connection, di ba, between the posterior aqueous chamber and anterior aqueous chamber. Yan, tinulak na, di ba? Tinulak na ito yung peripheral portion ng iris and that result to narrowing. That result na to narrowing of the angle if the patient have this posterior synechia. Naintindihan, Doc? Dito ang butas, ha? Dito ang butas. Okay? Sa may part, okay? Sa may part ng iris natin na malapit sa may pupil. That will be now the management. That will be the management for the primary close angle glaucoma. For the secondary, kunin natin etiology because of the Morganian cataract. Diba? Swell yung kanyang there will be swelling, diba, nung kanyang crystalline lens. Tapos pumutok, nag-rupture. Okay? Tapos pwede siya maging open angle glaucoma. So the Morganian cataract can be caused, okay, on open angle and angle closure type of glaucoma. Okay, kung hindi naman siya, ganito naman mangyayari. So ganito mangyayari, what you have is supposed to be a swell. So kunyari, ito yung swell na, ito yung crystalline lens mo. Ito yung crystalline lens. Gawin natin kulay puti. Yan. Okay, tapos item. Tapos we have here now the iris. Kuha ko ng iris, kunyari. Ayan, okay? So this is supposed to be now the iris. Ayan, ito yung iris natin. Hello? Are you still there? Hello, hello, hello? Are you
Yes
still there?
po, Doc.
Ayan. So ito yung crystalline lens. May katarata yung pasyente. Diba? So anong mangyayari? Magsuswell. Okay, magsuswell ngayon yung pasyente. Diba? So overswelling na yon. Kasi hypermature. Ito. Lagay natin siya sa front. Ayan. So nagswell na ngayon. Okay, nagswell na ngayon yung kanyang crystalline lens. So pag nagswell ngayon yung crystalline lens, okay, anong mangyayari? Lalapit siya dito. O yan, nagswell siya, lalapit siya ngayon dito. Diba sa ating iris. So pag lumapit siya ngayon dito sa iris, di para ka ng meron ka ng posterior synechia, 'di ba? So mape-prevent na 'yon. Pero hindi siya yung nagdikit na talagang dikit na dikit. Ang nangyari na nag-adhere, okay, permanently because of the inflammation, hindi. So lumapit lang siya dito, okay, lumapit siya dito kasi nag-swell. 'Di ba? Nag-swell yung ating crystalline lens. O yan. Pero hindi dikit na talaga may pupillary block na permanently. No. Okay, nag-swell siya. So what will happen? Mapiprevent mo ngayon yung outflow, 'di ba, ng aqueous humor from the posterior aqueous chamber going to the anterior aqueous chamber. Okay, and that result to, okay, pag dumikit yan, pero hindi dikit na dikit tulak ulit ito. So pag tulak uli yan, then magnanaro yung angle natin dito. That result to angle closure type of glaucoma. Do you understand mga doki what I'm talking about? Wait. Kunyari ito si crystalline lens. O, yan. Ito si crystalline lens natin. Yan si crystalline lens natin. Yan si crystalline lens natin. Yan. Okay, so ang mangyayari ngayon, tutulak mo ito. Di ba, tutulak mo yan. So pag tinulak mo yan, ayun. That result na to narrowing of the angle. Do you understand, mga doki? What I'm trying to emphasize? Magmo-move forward yan, o magmo-move forward, that result na to narrowing, okay, of the angle. Are you following, mga dok?
Yes
Parang
po.
ganito, ayan o, nag-swell yung lente. So pag nag-swell yung lente, didikit ito. Yung peripheral portion of the iris, mabablock ngayon yung outflow natin dito. But not permanently, ha? Not permanently, nag-adhere siya. Dumikit siya because of that swelling. Okay? And that will result to blocking, pupillary block. And that will result to elevation of the intraocular pressure dito sa may posterior aqueous chamber. Tulak mo yung iris sa may peripheral portion, that result to narrowing. Okay, that result na to narrowing of the angle. Hindi meron siyang, yung Morgagnian pala natin, pwede siyang open angle, pwede siyang angle closure type of glaucoma. Basta unruptured ito, ha? Swell lang, pero unruptured. Lagyan natin dito, swell siya, pero unruptured. Okay, yung ating Morgagnian cataract. Okay, then, as I've said, we have this anterior uveitis. I already discussed this one. That causes now this synechia. That causes now this synechia. Okay, so the other type of glaucoma, that is the normal tension glaucoma. So the normal tension glaucoma, okay, hindi mataas yung kanyang intraocular pressure, pwedeng normal o pwedeng mababa, pero merong optic nerve atrophy, di ba, yung pasyente, which also manifested by loss of peripheral vision. Pare-parehong loss of peripheral vision yan. So during fundoscopic examination, so meron na siyang tunnel vision. 'Di ba, yung pasyente kahit normal tension, 'di ba? Meron na siyang unti-unti na nagkakaroon ng tunnel vision yung pasyente. Okay? So kailangan bigyan na natin ng anti-glaucoma. Ano ba lang makikita? Okay. So yung vision ng pasyente, tunnel vision. Tapos pag sinilip natin yung kanyang fundus, okay, namumuti. Malaki yung puti. Ito. Nagkakaroon siya ngayon ng cupping. Ito yung normal natin, di ba? Ito yung normal natin. Ito yung glaucomatous cupping. So yung physiologic cup natin, di ba, yung nasa loob is physiologic cup. Ito yung optic disc natin. Okay? Lumalaki yung puti. Because of that atrophy, okay, nung optic nerve. So pag lumaki ngayon yung puti, kasi nagkaroon ng atrophy, pag mineasure ko yan, merong malaki, more than 5, di ba? More than 5 yung value if the patient have glaucomatous cupping. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Normal ang pressure niyan, ha? Normal ang pressure niyan, pero ang pasyente, I'm talking of normal tension glaucoma. Normal, okay, yung kanyang cupping, Yan. Okay. So normal yung kanyang cupping, normal yung kanyang no. Normal yung kanyang intraocular pressure pero meron siyang glaucomatous cupping. 'Di ba yung pasyente? So tuturo ko sa inyo paano i-measure ito. Kahit yung ano lang, kahit yung ano lang niya ba yung tawag dito, yung film o kaya kahit dito. Kahit dito sa picture na ito, measure natin ito. Okay, sa cellphone nyo. Lagay natin sa cellphone nyo. Tapos measure natin para makuha natin yung cup-disc ratio. Ito. Okay, using now your PD rule. Okay, basta mayroong millimeter. Okay, yung PD rule. Then, makukuha natin yung cupping. Cupping makukuha natin yung cupping ng pasyente. Kung meron siyang glaucomatous cupping. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello.
Yes po,
Do
Doc.
you understand what I'm talking about? Okay? So, 9 na. These are supposed to be now the pathophysiology. Bakit nagkakaroon ng optic nerve atrophy? Ito yung pag nag-yag laser Ito yung kapag nag-yag laser, kunyari yung pasyente, mayroong posterior synechia. So usually peripheral. Kaya nga nandun yung word na peripheral Hindi dito sa central, yung malapit sa may pupil. Ang butas dito. Okay, sa may peripheral portion ng iris. Peripheral, laser iridotomy. Ito na ngayon yon, di ba? Ito siya binutasan ko rito. Di ba? So pag dito ka ngayon nagbutas, ginawa ko lang example ito. Ayan, pero actually meron yan. So pag dito nilagay mo yung butas, anong mangyayari? Narrow pa rin yung angle paano madidrain yan? Di ba? So, useless kapag dito mo binutasan. Ayan yon. So, dapat ang butas sa may periphery. Ayan yon. So, kapag ang butas mo sa periphery, yung aqueous humor directly papunta rito sa trabecular meshwork. So, kapag nadidrain na, di ba yung excess na aqueous humor sa may posterior aqueous chamber, di babalik sa normal position ito. Di ba yung iris natin, and that will try to widen, di ba, the angle. That will widen the angle. Okay, pag nag-widen yung angle, so kung meron mang excess na aqueous humor dito, madidrain na. Dalawa na ngayon yung magdidrain. Dahil gumanda yung angle at binutasan natin dito, di ba? Binutasan natin sa may peripheral, then makokontrol na natin yung intraocular pressure ng pasyente. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello. Do you understand what I'm
Yes
talking
po, Doc.
about? Yan. Okay? So once na nadidrain na natin yung intraocular pressure ay yung aqueous humor, ayan, papunta dun sa trabecular meshwork, unti-unting babalik siya sa normal position yung trabecular meshwork natin, and that will widen. Okay, now the angle. That is the purpose. Okay, that's supposed to be now the purpose why you have to do peripheral laser iridotomy. Okay, on the patient. Okay? Naintindihan? Yung discussion natin. Hello?
Yes po, Doc.
Naintindihan? Okay? So, yung pathophysiology pertaining now to the optic nerve atrophy. Di ba nagkakaroon ng optic nerve atrophy yung pasyente. Ganito ang nangyayari. Natandaan nyo si lamina cribrosa. Natandaan nyo si lamina cribrosa? Naturo ko ba last time si lamina cribrosa?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes. Okay, di ba? Yung lamina cribrosa natin, ito yun, di ba? Ito si lamina cribrosa. Dinaanan yan, di ba, nung ating fiber coming from the ganglion cell, di ba, of the retina. Okay? So this is supposed to be now ito, yung kulay puti na ito, this is supposed to be our physiologic cup. Ito yung physiologic cup, kaya kulay puti siya eh. Dalawa rason. Walang blood vessel, tapos kita, di ba yung kulay puti na sclera natin dito. Di ba? Okay. So, ito yung ating optic disc. Ito, yan yung optic disc. Tapos ito yung ating physiologic cup. Now, what will happen kapag tumaas yung intraocular pressure ng pasyente? So, ganito nangyayari. Pag mataas ang intraocular pressure, di ba, tulak sa harap, tulak sa likuran. May pressure ka rito eh. So, tulak sa harap, tulak sa likuran. So, pag tinulak mo sa likuran, di mag-move itong crystalline lens natin backward. Pag nag-move yung crystalline lens mo backward, di magba-backward din yung vitreous humor natin. Ito na ngayon. So, pag nag-backward yung vitreous humor natin, ito na tayo, pupunta tayo dito. Okay, kasi nandito si lamina cribrosa. Punta tayo dito sa lamina cribrosa. Are you following, mga doc?
Yes po, Doc.
Hello. Okay. So, yung lamina cribrosa natin, di ba nandyan yung optic nerve, yung ating, yung optic nerve natin at saka yung ating artery and vein. You have the central retinal artery and then you have the central retinal vein. Okay? So what will happen kapag ito, pressure, tinulak mo ngayon, ito, ayan, nag-apply ka ng pressure, ito na yung lamina cribrosa. So yung lamina cribrosa mo ngayon sa sclera, because of this, okay, pressure, dahil doon sa glaucoma, natulak yung vitreous humor mo, magbe-bend ito backward, yung ating lamina cribrosa. So pag nag-bend backward, okay, yung ating lamina cribrosa, ito yung normal na lamina cribrosa. So pag nag-bend backward, nangyari, yun. So pag nag-bend backward, ito, yung lamina cribrosa, maiipit yung central retinal artery and vein natin. And what will happen to the central retinal artery? Ano ba sinusuplayan ng central retinal artery natin? Di ba ito yung inner sensory retina natin? Di ba dalawa ang blood supply ng retina? Okay, dalawa ang blood supply ng retina. The first two layers of the retina are supplied by choriocapillary. And the inner part of the retina is supplied, itong inner part, are supplied by the central, by the central retinal artery. So, what will happen kapag naipit yan? So, if this will be now ito yung central retinal artery natin, ito yun supply yung inner sensory retina, the choriocapillary supply the first two layer of our retina. Okay? So, what will happen kapag nag-bend backward, may iipit ito. May ipit yung central retinal artery kasi nag-bend backward. Ayan, nag-bend backward yung lamina cribrosa natin. Dahil yung pressure, di ba? Tinulak. May glaucoma, tinulak yung vitreous humor, ditulak din ito. Di ba yung lamina cribrosa natin? So pag tinulak yung lamina cribrosa, that result to compression dito sa central retinal artery natin. O di pag kinompress mo yung central retinal artery, wala nang blood flow papunta rito sa inner sensory retina. Di ba? And the inner sensory retina contains now your ganglion cell mo na merong axon. Di pag walang blood supply yan, mag-atrophy. Di ba? Itong axon na ito. So pag nag-atrophy ngayon, di ba yung axon na yan, anong mangyayari? Lalaki ngayon. Di ba ang mangyayari ngayon, di ba ito yung physiologic cup mo. Di ba? Tapos ito yung normal na fiber coming from the ganglion cell. Nag-atrophy. So, pag nag-atrophy yon, di ba, nag-shrink yon. So, pag nag-shrink yon, di lalaki ito. Di ba, lalaki ngayon yung kulay puti, yung physiologic cup natin. Ayan. Kaya pag sinilip mo siya, di ba, pag sinilip mo ito, dahil may atrophy na rito, yung fiber ng axon mo rito kasi nag-bend ito. Yung lamina cribrosa, nag-atrophy yon. Then, makikita mo ngayon, during fundoscopy, lumaki na yung physiologic cup kasi nag-atrophy na yung fibers from the ganglion cell of the retina. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Hello? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, so yung part ng optic nerve na naapektuhan is the intraocular portion. Di ba natandaan nyo, na-discuss ko sa inyo, 4 na parte yung optic nerve. Intraocular, retrobulbar, or intraorbital rather. Okay, then we have the intracanalicular and intracranial. So in our glaucoma, what is affected is the intraocular portion. Ito. It's the intraocular portion of the optic nerve. Okay? Kaya yun, makikita mo yung glaucomatous cupping ng pasyente. And that is the pathophysiology. Yun yung pathophysiology kung bakit nagkaroon ng optic nerve atrophy. Okay, yung pasyente. Naintindihan what I'm talking about? So sa OCT, makikita mo yung tining, okay, makikita mo yung tining nung kanyang retina at makikita mo ito, yung cupping, di ba, on OCT. Okay, nung OCT noong pasyente. Naintindihan what I'm talking about?
Yes po, Doc.
Naintindihan ka? Okay? So ito yung ano natin ha. This is the optic disc 1.5 and this is now the physiologic cup which measures around 0.5, di ba, millimeter. So i-divide mo lang yan, then the cup disc ratio is 0.3. That will be now the, okay, when one of the is added. Yeah, that will be one of the added diagnostic procedure kasi retina na eh. Di ba yung tinamaan? Pwede tayo mag-request, di ba, ng OCT on the patient. Okay? Any questions? Ito yung ano na to, next meeting na lang ito. Yung management natin ng glaucoma. So yung aim natin sa management ng glaucoma is ito ha, decrease ang aqueous humor secretion, enhance yung outflow. Okay, ng aqueous humor going to the trabecula, okay, going now to the uvea sclera. Kasi dalawa yung outflow natin eh. Trabecula and the other one is uvea sclera. Okay, so ito yung ways natin. Yung shadow test na ituro ko ba sa inyo? Hello? Para malaman nyo, naturo ko ba yung shadow test sa inyo?
Hindi po, Dok. Pero nabanggit din po ng ibang prof.
Okay. So yung ilaw nasa may periphery.
Yes po, sa temporal side po.
Oo. Yung ilaw nandito sa may temporal tapos titingnan mo yung shadow. Ito yun ha. Ito yung shadow. So normally ang shadow, mga 1 to 2 millimeter lang. Pero dahil merong angle closure glaucoma, ito nag-move forward. Di ba yung kanyang iris, pag inilawan ko yan, syempre, tatatakpan nun nag-move forward na iris. So magkakaroon ng malaking shadow rito. O, yun yun. Ito yung malaking shadow. So the greater the shadow, okay, the more that the patient have a narrowing, di ba, of the angle. Naintindihan ito, Doc? Pwede nating i-actual yan, ha? Pwede nating i-actual yan, okay, para malaman natin yung shadow, okay, nung pasyente. Peripheral ha, dito sa may temporal side yung ilaw. Tapos ang titingnan mo dito sa may medial side, okay, yung ilaw dito. Naintindihan mga doc? Yung shadow test natin. Tapos digital palpation. Tuturo ko sa inyo yan. Okay, yung digital palpation. Okay? So I think we have to stop here and we'll continue our discussion next meeting. But next meeting will be our presentation na ha. Next meeting ha, presentation na natin. Okay? Stop sharing. Okay na tayo, Randolph?